Hello everybody, and welcome to this week's energy update for October 2nd through to October 9th. Really excited to dive deep into what we have in store for themes this week. Some really interesting energies as we wrap up this Mercury retrograde and move into this fresh new phase, which feels really good. So to go into those main themes that we're going into this week, we have reconciliations, justice, release, we have groundedness, loving up our bodies, removal of fear, surrender to heal, allowing divine justice. We have creativity, togetherness, restoring life's ground purpose, resolution and absolution, open communication, boundaries, the sun, higher knowledge and wisdom, and heart and throat opening with heightened intuition. So we have some really cool themes that wanted to come through in such a beautiful and peaceful way this week. As I was meditating and collecting my guides' messages for the collective, there was just this beautiful peace, this real tranquility that washed right over me energetically. And I'm feeling very grounded as I do this reading. I'm feeling very relaxed as I move forward in this reading. And I really feel like this is very telling for a week ahead, that these are the energies that we're truly wanting to embrace as we move forward this week. So no matter what circumstances arise, we're feeling supported, we are feeling grounded, we are feeling safe. So we're going to touch into this later in the reading. So our first theme here, let's dive in. We have reconciliations. So the first message I heard this morning was reconciliations are near. Hold on to hope and trust that everything is happening for the highest good. Release all judgments. Let things flow, even when things are in limbo. So I was really getting this message strongly in the field of our relationships, in the field of finances as well. If we're kind of in this in-between stage, and a lot of us I feel kind of are, with Mercury retrograde, we have so much coming forward for us to heal and rectify in our relationships in life. However, some of us didn't fully get the closure that we were fully looking for. And I'm kind of hearing this as this has come up this week. So if that relates to you, if that resonates, it's like even when you're in this in-between state, you're unsure if you're moving forward, you're unsure if you're going to stay, all these different questions might be surfacing. And I'm hearing we're really wanting to put things to bed. We're wanting closure. However, I'm really hearing it's like just allow things to flow this week. Release any judgments. Really dial into that connectedness to the universe and allowing the universe to show up in a large way. Trusting that justice is coming. So I really saw this theme of justice this week. So I saw the justice card that's very strong in our tarot decks. And with that, it's all about bringing to balance, bringing back that justice. So I put justice card coming back to balance and understanding. And then next I put release and bring awareness to flawed thinking. So very strong messages coming through to let go, surrender, and really just focus on our side of the street. Where do we need to bring more awareness to how we view others in our lives, or how we view our finances, or what are those stories exactly that we have on repeat? Because I'm seeing a lot of us, I'm really getting this scenario of somebody being offended by something and it's just on replay, like, oh, I just can't get over this. It's so frustrating that they're this way, they're that way, that way. And I'm really seeing this kind of negative spiral that takes place. And what I'm really hearing as advice this week is, if this applies to you, this might be just for a specific few, but really hearing anywhere in life that we have this kind of stopping point where we're just like, frustration, not making progress. It's like this is our little sign from the universe to stop, to bring awareness to how we're viewing things and how we might need to shift our perspectives. So even if it's somebody who's really frustrated, or even if it's your money situation that's really frustrating, you just want to bring this all to closure, it's like allow yourself to let go. Allow room for the universe to bring forward new revelations, and insights, and allow yourself to just drop into that state of surrender. And then this really moved forward into this beautiful theme of grounding. So what I heard was ground your body. Mother Nature is calling. It's time to feel supported on your journey, to rest, to take the back seat and allow the universe to show you the way forward. Okay, so this was such a beautiful theme of really trusting the unfolding of our lives, really allowing things to happen as they happen, and trusting we're supported. So very strong highlight on our safety, our root chakra this week. How are we feeling in our life in general, and within our relationships, within finances, within our security? Do we feel safe? And really analyzing where those fears might be popping up this week. So really getting a hold of those fears and going, okay, where do I need to assess? Where am I still feeling not secure in my life? And how could this be playing out in things that are happening currently, or how I'm even perceiving things currently? So I'm really hearing allow yourself to feel supported. And we can really do that when we ground our energies, when we're not feeling so scattered, so ungrounded. It can really help us dial in and connect with the universe more, with ourselves more, with our bodies more, feeling safe in our bodies. And really coming to that acceptance that Mother Earth is there to support us. The universe is here to support us. We are never alone. And in essence, we are always safe. So it's like, how can I gather the evidence that supports that? And how can I take action in my life to help me feel safety? So really, really beautiful. They showed me this beautiful example of a mother and baby. So being held, the mother holding you. There's nothing for you to worry about. The mother is going to provide for every single need if we trust and know that we're cared for. So really beautiful theme this week. So then we move from there into loving up your body. So very strong message this week to work with our physical selves. So once again, just like last week, this is following through. Where do we need to make those adjustments? And how can we really highlight loving our bodies? So we hear this all the time. Well, love yourself, love your body. And it's like, but do we really actively take the lead in that in our daily life? Do we do the actions that really show ourselves, show our inner children that we're going to step up, that we are going to love ourselves now, that we are going to take the initiative to make the changes? And if not, this is the week to definitely do this. So really carrying through from last week's theme of health, we're really needing to pamper ourselves this week. And I'm really getting a bit of a warning of burnout. So if we've been worn out with perhaps the chaos of Mercury retrograde, perhaps the different things that have been happening in general in the world, it's like stop, once again, come back to a state of surrender, give yourself that self-care and love, and really listen to what is coming forward from your physical body. So what is your physical body trying to say? How can we really listen? How can we rest more, rejuvenate ourselves, set new health goals, and find that balance? And what I was really hearing, it's like not overwhelming ourselves with, oh man, I've got to change everything, and then we just don't do it. What I'm really seeing is alternatively taking those small steps. So how can I find more balance? How can I actually maintain a healthy lifestyle? And I'm seeing us really go into the small baby steps we can take every single day. So as an example, make a small goal of drinking more water every day. Get yourself one of those gigantic water bottles, fill her up, see how much you actually drink each day. It's like doing those little achievable goals that really allow us to follow through, to really commit to our health. And I'm seeing this really, really being important. So get the information you need, get more education around health, what your body physically is asking for, and really follow through. This is a very strong message this week. We really need to balance the physical body if we have not been paying attention. Very strong message. So next we have removal of all fears. So addressing triggers in solitude, prioritizing alone time to process and learn all you can. What lessons, what life lessons are surfacing to learn and clear? So once again, beautiful theme coming up here of when we are triggered, how can we really dive a little deeper? How can we get that clarity around our fears, and how can we really work with them? So if we haven't taken that advice from last week, if we're still getting perhaps even new triggers coming forward or another layer, it's like, once again, practice that mindfulness. What can I learn? How is this showing me perhaps a repetitive pattern or cycle that I've been in? And how can I break this cycle? How can I clear this energy from my life so I can truly instill this new foundation that I want to instill? And once again, I'm seeing the scales here. So we're really finding this equilibrium as we enter this Libra season. It's so beautiful to see. We're really learning how to truly do this. So next we have surrender to heal. Profound healing on all levels is now required. So really interesting. I really am seeing this week very strong in healing for us in every single way. So emotionally, mentally, physically, energetically. I'm seeing a lot of us purge. I'm seeing a lot of us continue this detoxification process, even of energies that perhaps have been karmically attached to us. So I'm seeing this real shift taking place, and with that, it's a process. So this might take a few weeks. This might be a theme for a few weeks as we continue to strip off each layer of dense energies that no longer serve. So it's like, once again, surrendering to that process, not rushing this process, and bringing that awareness to, wow, okay, this is deep soul healing that's taking place on a collective level. So that means not just you as an individual is going through this purging. A lot of us are at this time. So it's very important to recognize that this is happening and to move into the state of joyfully doing it. So this is a really cool theme as well. A lot of times we're like, oh man, we've got so much to heal. I'm so hurt. I've got all these things coming up and it's overwhelming. And it's like, okay, how can we take a different approach and go, you know what if I looked at this from a joyful perspective and go, yay me, I'm healing. I'm actually learning how to take care of myself. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to continue and further my commitment to self. And it's like changing this perception to one of joy. Like, this is a really beautiful thing that all of us are doing. And it's really here to support this new foundation that we need to build as a collective, as a world, as humanity. So really beautiful. And I'm seeing this side theme of support coming through. So needing to gather in groups this week. So I'm seeing a lot of us do circles, do drumming, dancing, even just gatherings together. So a lot of us are needing that support. Finding ways to support yourself through your friendships, groups, workshops, educational seminars. I'm just seeing this very highlighted this week where it's like, okay, I'm in this healing process. How can I support myself more? How can I find like-minded people who are on a similar journey and path? And how can I feel less alone in this? So really beautiful as we move into this week, that theme of togetherness. So then we have this theme as well surfacing back into justice. So once again, allowing justice to prevail, trusting the universe to right every wrong, and it's not only up to us. So I was seeing once again this area of conflict that wanted to come through, and it was really interesting because I had this vision of the groups and the gathering, and then right away it was like this conflict again that wanted to pop up here, and it was very interesting. So with that, it's like, okay, perhaps we're hesitant to join a group or get involved with people again because we've perhaps been wronged, or perhaps we've been hurt or betrayed in the past. And I'm seeing a lot of us try to take on our own healing by ourselves. And it's like, but we can't always do everything by ourselves. And it's like, what if we could make the journey that much easier by sharing the load? And so I was really seeing once again this confirmation coming through for those of you in this kind of scenario or mindset, that the universe is going to right every wrong. So whatever you've gone through in the past, it doesn't mean that it's going to repeat now. And it's like, how can I change my mindset? How can I let go of this repetitive pattern? And how can I free myself from putting that energy out into the universe? It's like, how can I trust? How can I allow myself to heal and find like-minded souls that can really support me, because I deserve it? So it's once again changing this perception of one of protection and letting go and feeling that support. Once again, correlating to our original themes of safety. I am safe now. It's safe for me to proceed. It's safe for me to embrace new friendships. It's safe for me to be open-minded. And it's like, once again, really coming to this renewal of self and taking on the new mindset that we truly wish to have. So really cool. So with this, I saw this theme of, once again, accepting others. So if conflict does arise this week, it's like, how can we recognize that everybody has their own personal truth and avoid pressing our own? So I'm once again seeing this theme of relationships very strong here. So where do we feel like we need to be right? And where do we press on this? So how can we bring awareness to this balance and harmony again that we're needing to bring into our relationships? So allowing room for different perspectives. And I'm seeing this healing take place where we're no longer impressing our views, perspectives, and trying to make a point regardless of what others may feel or believe. We're instead coming into this approach of sharing and exploring different perspectives with curiosity and peace. Okay, so I wrote here, let me just find the page here, one second. Okay, embrace new perspectives and become open-minded. Everyone holds their own personal truths. Avoid pressing your own this week. Share and explore differing perspectives with curiosity and peace. None of us have all the answers. So then I was shown this gathering of soul family, really coming together, uniting, prioritizing healthy relationships now. And what I saw here was this prioritizing people and relationships in their lives that bring that harmony. So who in your life makes you feel balanced? Who in your life makes you feel good? And how can you really prioritize those relationships? Really beautiful. So then we had this awareness come through that we're currently in a time frame where we are restoring life's purpose as a collective. So it was interesting. When I first heard this, I was like, oh, does this mean like us as individuals, like pursuing our divine purpose? And it was like, yes, but no. So there's a strong theme of this coming through and as a collective level. So globally, how we need to recognize now that everything that is occurring at this time is to help us restore harmony and peace and balance to humanity as a whole. So they're like, bring this awareness. How can I contribute? How can I contribute to the collective? How can I contribute to peace and harmony? How can I take on the viewpoint of oneness to help culminate this peace on earth? And they really were impressing this point that each of us is personally responsible to contribute that energy. And it's up to us. If we truly want that peace, then we need to create it in our reality right now. So if we're someone we're like, yes, I would love world peace. I'd love to see no war. I would love to abolish hate and division. It's like, well, are we really doing that in our personal lives right now? Because that's how we can bring it forward. That's how we can contribute to the collective, is by abolishing those themes in our current reality. So really get this bigger perspective this week, that even the little tips that we might be having or have had in the past few weeks, it's like, how can I come forward with this bigger perspective that, okay, how can I bring this peace into my personal life? So I'm putting out a peaceful, loving, harmonious energy into the collective now. So from this, we have resolve conflicts for healing and absolution. So they really wanted me to focus on the word absolution. So when I looked up the definition for more information, what came through was freedom from guilt, obligation, or punishment. Okay, so I wrote, it's important to abolish all division in your life now. Ask yourself, where do I create separation in my life, and how can I bridge the gap? How can I forgive myself or others from past wounds and pain to create peace within myself and in turn the world? Okay, so really summing up this theme here of restoring life's true purpose on this collective level. Where can we personally step up and take the lead? How can we absolve ourselves from guilt, from obligation or self-punishment or punishment of others? And how can we come to this understanding too of I matter? I add to the collective energy. I am personally responsible and I matter too. I'm going to give myself peace. I'm going to give myself grace so I can truly see how valuable I am. So really, really beautiful. I wrote, holding on to grudges only harms ourselves. It's time to step into liberation and freedom. So with this, we have our next theme of open communication. So very cool. So as we go into this energy of peace, harmony, and getting that bigger picture, it's now time to communicate. So what I wrote was open communication around where we now stand. And immediately I had the Ascended Master, Joan of Arc, coming through very strongly. And her energy was very prevalent for this week. So overcoming fear of persecution or abandonment was really strong, because when we think of that story of Joan of Arc, she was such a liberator. She was someone who wanted to speak out and did what she could to do so, to have her voice heard and known. And that's exactly what we are needing to do this week. It's like, how can I overcome the fear? How can I release wounds of abandonment, of feeling like I won't be accepted, and come to this acceptance of self instead, where I no longer care or worry or fret over the opinions of others, where I am so unapologetically myself and I'm able to shout from the rooftops who I am, where I stand now, and where I'm going. And I'm really seeing this stress around seeing our divine worth and value. And what I wrote was, we too have a right to be here, to feel how we feel, to embrace our sensitivity, to have a voice, and to heal, even if others disapprove. So I'm really seeing this coming out of the shell this week. So perhaps we've been feeling a little suppressed by others around us. Maybe we've been timid about even sharing our spirituality. And this week I'm seeing us needing to take that leap forward where we're going, no, this is me. And I don't care if you don't like it. This is who I am. This is what I'm going to pursue. This is what feels right in my heart. And they're really clarifying here, this doesn't mean we're not being mindful of others. Of course, we want to do things in a way that's true to us, which is in essence true to love. So whenever we're doing this communication, how can we come across in a loving way? How can we remain true to ourselves, but also really being strong and holding strong to who we are and who we have become? Once we're no longer being obnoxious or needingly rude or mean in how we come across. So really coming through in that effective communication, and perhaps doing a little bit of diligent study before you do. And what I kind of mean by that, it's like if you know you have a conversation that you need to have, how can you plan it in a way that feels right to you? How can you pray for guidance? How can you call in your guides to help direct you past the fear of persecution, past the fear of being rejected, past the fears of whatever might surface for you this week, so you can communicate in a clear and concise way that invokes that power of who you are now. So next we have boundaries of the head and exploration of the heart. So once again, coming to this equilibrium of the logic and the emotion this week. And what I was really seeing is, once again, our thoughts running away with us. So where do we need better boundaries in our own minds? Where do we need to say no to unloving thoughts and fear-based thoughts and programs? And how can we begin to recognize we're safe now to explore our heart space? And this was really cool because, once again, I see a lot of us being untrusting of our heart space, not really knowing if what's in there and how we can act through there. And so what I'm really seeing this week is this very large theme around the heart chakra, opening up the heart chakra, and really, once again, coming back to love, coming back to that harmony, and really, really feeling all the emotions that surface with that. So we are going through this profound healing, my friends. So what do we need to feel? What do we need to let go of? How can I let go of the worry, the fear, the triggers, the logic, and just focus on my feelings right now? And how can I do that in a loving way? So very, very strong message here to connect with our heart space. We also are getting a theme of the sun. So getting out in the sunlight, filling up our cups with that. Perhaps we need to take some vitamin D right now. Very strong message to get sunshine. And with this, what does the sun represent? Liberation, joy, fire, passion, creativity. So these are themes that are all playing a role this week, and really allowing ourselves to connect with those senses and creativity. We are a magnificent creation, and it's time to express that creativity out into the world. And from this theme, we have higher knowledge and wisdom, energy upgrades, and divine downloads collectively. So this was really cool. They were showing me the world, and it was shedding these old, dense layers of energy. And what I was really seeing here was these old stories, these old programs that have kept a lot of us and humanity itself very stuck in their ways. And with this, we're getting this theme of harmony and equilibrium again, right? So how can we restore peace? How can we come back to love? How can we restore divine justice in this world? And I'm seeing a lot of these old stories that we need to be at war, we need to be divided, we need to be, in this theme of division. We're really seeing this clear, and it's happening on this divine level, which is so cool, this collective level. So what I wrote is, we're releasing old dense layers of energies, old stories, to refresh and renew through compassionate love, which was so cool. Loved it so, so much. So big homework this week is to infuse our heart and soul with love, to go within, to really get in touch with how we're feeling this week, to purge those emotions, to really get in touch with our divine purpose. What are we here to do? How can we contribute to the collective? How can I reconsider perhaps some commitments that I've made so I can prioritize myself more? How can I get more education on what I want to do so I can move forward in this harmony? How can I love myself more and give myself the rejuvenation and rest I deserve this week? Very strong messages. And lastly, we have intuition. So heightened intuition, unfurling our strengths and abilities and using them for the good, choosing self and divine life purpose. So really beautiful this week. We're seeing this rise in our intuition, The veil is becoming thinner, as we know it does in October. And I'm seeing a lot of us connect to spirit, to our guides a lot easier this week. And we're needing to bring this awareness of any of the unusual thoughts or happenings that take place, because they're all very valid this week. That veil is very thin, and it's really important to connect with that energy this week. So if you need clarity, meditate. If you need answers, ask for them. Allow yourself to ask for signs and watch mindfully of how they show up for you. Really getting a theme of feathers here as well. So if you find feathers, know that that is your angels. Those are your guides letting you know that they are with you. And very strong message here, just pay attention to the synchronicities, because spirit is very close. So lastly, I wanted to end with some of our main guides that wanted to come through for us this week, and we're really wanting us to take advantage of their help and their energies. So I had this really cool download of this. So we had Archangel Metatron wanting to come through for us this week. We had Archangel Michael to clear negativity, to help us realign our chakras, to really dispel anything that's holding us back from freedom, okay? Empowerment, really, really strong. We had Christ consciousness very present, so unconditional love, loving our neighbor as we would love ourselves, and coming to that unconditional, compassionate love of self this week. We also had Archangel Jophiel present, so seeing the beauty in every situation, no matter what, seeing the beauty of life around us, and seeing life in this victor role where life is happening for us. So those were her messages for us this week. So if you're struggling there, call upon Archangel Jophiel. We also had, of course, Joan of Arc coming forward to help us express ourselves without fear. We had her also helping us to overcome these fears of persecution or abandonment and to hold our station. Okay, really powerful energies. Next, we had some animal spirits that wanted to come through as well. So we had Crocodile Spirit. And as I looked up Crocodile Spirit, it really had to do with spiritual cleansing and healing and preservation. So any of those areas that we need help, call upon Crocodile. We also had Squirrel come forward. So preservation, preparation, resourcefulness, seeing beyond limits, and really seeing that we are capable of anything. And I wanted to read this little write-up that I found on squirrels. So it says, squirrels are lovely creatures, and like many other animals, they have their own lore and symbolism. Yet even with all of these different lore, there is one common thread of the squirrel running through various cultures. Some have called it the changer because of its habits of returning to the same place at the same time every year, only to find that something about it seems different. With the spirit of the squirrel in our hearts, we too can see beyond current limitations and break free from the mundane fabrics of life. As we wake up and view life more grounded in ourselves and our environment, we find that for once, everything seems brighter and easier to understand. So they have to do with renewal, adaptability, change, playfulness, spirit, resourcefulness, gratitude, and foresight. So I thought this was such a perfect spirit animal as well for us to utilize this week. So if you see these animals in your dreams or anywhere else, notice that those animals are coming forward to connect with and to help you at this time. And that really goes for all of our guides that were very present this week. So know you are not alone, my friends. There's so much coming through for support, and please reach out to your practitioners this week if you're needing that extra self-love and care. Know that I am taking new clients at this time, so please reach out if you would like to connect for a session with Reiki, channeling of your guides and their personal messages for you. And if so, I'd love to connect. Have a wonderful and blessed week, my friends. Bye-bye.